Hey, it's Lisa Walker, and I actually work with coaches and consultants, online experts, and course creators. And often actually not often, all the time, we need to find ways that we can upload files online so that we can share them with our clients and our customers. And basically, like, often we might just make something like a freebie that we have to give away, and we have to be able to deliver that to a person in some way. And I really love this Amazon Web Services, and they have a service called S3, which actually is like a storage facility, and they call it the Simple Storage Service. That's what it stands for. And basically, it's one of the lowest tier levels, which is kind of like the standard default level when you first kind of go to upload your files. And basically, this is used for frequently data access. So if you're wanting to access data like often, and if you're going to be giving out a shareable link, you will be people will be accessing often. Now, basically, we'll just go over. First of all, you need to create an account. So if you come here up to aws.amazon.com/console, you'll find this homepage, and then you can actually create a new account. Now, I've already got an account, so I'm just going to log in. So I just go to AWS Management Console to log in here. And then I'm going to show you how you can access the S3 services. Okay, now we're going to come to a page that has all their services, which might look quite overwhelming because they have a lot. Now, if you come to the page, it could be closed. It could look like this. But if it's open, it'll look like this, okay? Now, look at all the services they have. They have heaps. But to be honest, I only actually have explored the S3 so far. So basically, you come down to storage here, S3. Click on that. This is once your account's open. And you will actually have to put in a credit card to actually open your account, a credit card or debit card. And they will actually just dock your account for $1. That's just to verify your account. So just make sure you've got at least $1 in your account when you set that up. And basically how they work is they have buckets and they have objects. Now, a bucket is basically a folder and an object is basically a file. So just so you understand that. So when you first come in here, this is actually a new account. I had another account under an old business email address, and I've just changed it to a new email address. So I've just set up a whole new account. Now, you can create a bucket. So you just click Create Bucket here. And then I'll usually just go through just the default settings usually when I'm setting up a bucket if I'm going to be just uploading my own files. But if I want to upload a file that I want to share with somebody, then we'll change the settings. Now, you do have to be careful though, because like if you make your bucket public because you want to put shareable files in there, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally save any of your own personal data or files in a public bucket, because otherwise they'll be accessible, especially if somebody has a share link. So you want to make sure that you mostly create private buckets if you're going to be just uploading all your own stuff that you don't want anyone else to access. Okay, so first of all, we come to bucket name. So if I make a name, because I did this earlier before, if I make one called, what did I do before? Okay, I can't remember now. Okay, I'll change this. What actually happened is if you make a name that someone else has already got, it won't approve it because nobody can have the same bucket name. So now I'm going to change the region to my region. Sydney's the closest to the Melbourne. And you can copy the settings from an existing bucket. So the only other bucket I've created in this account is actually one that's on public. So if I want to copy those settings, I can. Otherwise, it will just default to private. So I'm just going to leave that for now just so I could show you. Okay, now this bucket, it says this bucket name already exists. So I'll change the bucket name just to see if this one gets accepted. List building course content. Okay. So you can tick versioning if you want to keep all the versions of that file, in the same bucket or in the same folder. Like if you want to keep doing different updates of the version. Otherwise, I don't really kind of worry. I'm just going to leave that. I pretty much leave everything. You can actually add tags here too if you want. and then you can just go next. Now, if I just leave this, it says that it's blocking all public access, which means that it's going to be private, right? But if we want to do a shareable link, we want to make this public. So we want to untick this box so that it is public, which means we can actually share a file link. Okay. And then just go next. And then create bucket. You can actually go back and change the bucket, public access or private settings later on if you have to. Anyway, you can edit it. Okay, so see if you see along here it says objects can be public. Okay, so it means when I upload an object in here, it may not necessarily be public straight away. I'll probably have to make it public. So I'll just click on this bucket, and it says the bucket's empty, so I'm going to get started and I'm going to upload a file. Okay. And where is it? This computer is really slow right now. Okay, here's my file. And then I'm just going to go next. Now here I can, I'm the owner, so I can read or write. So I can just leave those, okay? And then it says here, manage public permissions, okay? If I just leave it as do not grant reader access to this object, recommended, okay? It means that only I can look at this, nobody else, okay? Or I could click on grant public access to this object. So I'm going to click grant public access, and it's going to give me a warning, okay? And then I'm just going to say next because I know that I want to do this, okay? Now then it's going to show you the different tier options. Now the standard tier is the one, like I said, frequently access data, but there is actually a cost that comes with the Amazon S3. And it's not really a lot, but you'd have to watch if you started to have like thousands and thousands of downloads and data getting transferred. So basically how they charge is on storage use, amount of data transferred every month, and the number of requests made. So basically the first 50 terabytes in the plan is 0.023 cents per gigabyte. So, you know, when I'm just uploading small files like this, like lead magnets, I'd have to have loads and loads of downloads before I'd start getting charged anything, you know. And it probably wouldn't be much, but that is something to be aware of as well. And remember that your credit card is set up in the system as well. So you just got to keep an eye on, you know, how much stuff is getting downloaded all the time. So, okay, so I'm going to choose standard and I'm going to go next. And I'm just going to go upload. Okay, now it's going to upload my file. Now, if I click on this file, it opens up all the information about it. And if I go to permissions over here, it says read object yes to everyone. So it means that this is actually public. If it was private, it would say nothing here, okay? Or else it would say that it's, you know, private. So now what we can do is we can take this link, the object URL link at the bottom, okay? And we can copy that. And if we open a new window, it should open up, okay? Which is the link that someone else would have, right? Okay, so here we go. Now, if I wanted to change that, change the permissions, I'll show you. If we click everyone, and this says, it gives me a warning that it's got public access, okay? And I'll untick that read object and I'll click save. Okay, see now here it says nothing along here. Okay, so I'll go back to the overview and I'll copy and paste that link again. And this time it says access denied. So this is okay. This object is okay for me, for myself to look at and to download, but nobody else can access it until I make that permission public again. Okay. So I'll click on read object. This object will have public access. I'll say, okay, I'm fine with that. And it's only if they have the link. Okay. So that's basically how you create buckets in Amazon S3 and then upload files as your objects. Okay. Now another way you can do it, which is another really easy way as well, is by using Google Drive. Okay, now just bear in mind that Google Drive gives you 15 gigabyte for free, and then after that you'll have to pay. So it's the same kind of thing as S3. Once you start getting too many downloads and too much data used in here, it's going to start using up your storage as well, right? So basically what we do is we just go to New, File Upload, which I've already uploaded this file, open, and then upload that, and it's telling me that it's a duplicate. Okay, and then what we do is we double click this file that's uploaded, so we can open it up, and then over here on the right hand side we can click these little 3 dots and it'll say share, and then basically you can click this drop down box and it'll say anyone with a link can edit, anyone with a link can comment, anyone with a link can view. We just want someone to be able to view it. So I'll leave that on that tick to there. And then, actually, sorry, I was meant to get the link. And then here you can just copy the link. Okay, it copies to your clipboard. And then when we go to a new tab, even if I'm logged out of Google Drive, you don't actually have to be logged in or anything. Now that file opens and that person can download the file. Okay, actually this is the Amazon S3 link, it's still copied from there, so hang on, copy link. Okay, now it's copied to clipboard. Now we'll go again. Okay, now this is opened in Google Drive. Okay, now see here that I'm logged in, but if I logged out and still posted this link in here, if I sign out of my account, okay, and then I come over here to a new tab and paste it again, so now I'm not logged in, right? So this would be just how anyone else would see it. Okay, it gives you the option to sign in and it gives you the option to download it as well. Okay, and it'll just download straight down to your computer. Okay, so they don't even have to really have a Google account or anything. So that's another way that you can share a file using Google Drive. Now what you can do is, if you haven't, if you're going to say like you have a lead magnet like this and you want to email it out, you can have a link inside your email. And there is also other ways that you can force the download too, so that when they click the link in the email, it'll automatically download to their computer. They don't actually have to come up to this browser window. So there are other ways that you can do this as well. But this is just an easy, quick way that you can do it. And also maybe on a thank you page, if you have like an opt-in page with a thank you page, you can even have the downloadable link embedded on the thank you page as well. It depends if you want to send them out in emails or not, but emailing is a great way to be able to continue to build your relationship with that person. So it's always good to have an email sequence following your opt-in pages and your free downloads. So yeah, so that's it for today, and I hope you've liked this video. Now there's actually a good post here that tells you all about the different pricing, so I'll leave the link to this post under the video so that you can see the pricing if you want to have a look at that more in depth. So yeah, hope that's given you a couple of ways that you can share your files, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. See ya.